Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sir Tommy P., Defender of the Faith.
And I'm Empress Emily M.
And we are the Nephilim Murder Crew for at least another month and a half.
For at least that.
Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday night.
January 22nd.
There you go.
Roughly 7:15 p.m. Just kidding. It's 7:17.
7:17. But we started on time.
We did start.
The intro music took a minute.
Yes. Takes a minute 34.
Yes.
Yes.
Although it did a weird glitch thing, so I think it took longer.
Yeah, it might have.
I don't know.
Good evening, Will. Good evening, Rick.
Good evening, Rick's a pimp.
Rick's a pimp.
Rick's a pimp, according to the chat.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying your snow.
Oh, and Mr. Squatch is here.
Good evening, Squatch.
Yeah, we don't have any snow here, but it is freaking cold. It has been in the negative temps for...
Don't let this man lie to you. It has not actively snowed, but we still have snow on the ground.
Well, yeah, there's snow on the ground because it's been in the negative temps.
Yeah, it's been negative.
But it has not snowed here recently. Yeah. It is just cold as fuck.
It's like fucking make you mad cold.
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to be warm again cold.
Like seriously, our heater is having trouble keeping up.
Yeah.
It's that cold. There's just nothing you can do about it. The wall in the spare bedroom is frozen in one spot. Like that's how cold it is.
Okay, so we have a guest room. We got a guest bed. Nether Knight has stayed at our house before whenever he's driving through.
And slept in that bed.
And slept in the bed.
And we didn't burn it, but we will eventually.
No, we won't.
That's a joke.
Well, it's the guest bed. We don't have to touch it. Just the other guests have to touch it.
Right. If anybody spends the night here, just know you slept in the same bed as the Nether Knight.
There's nothing wrong with the Nether Knight. Tom's just being funny. I don't know why this is.
No, I love the Nether Knight. He is a phenomenal man. I love him to death.
He's wonderful.
But
I finally warmed up, guys. My face is getting some color. Embarrassment.
Yes.
But anyways, I was the dog. That's mostly Max's bed. He has a full size bed that is his, and that's where he sleeps. And every once in a while, I'm like, I should probably wash those beddings because it's got dog all over it. Long story short, I was remaking the bed, and I pulled the bed away from the wall to make it. And I went to like move something and I touched a frozen wall. And I sent him a video and like you could see the little ice crystals on the wall itself. Now, granted, on the other side of that wall is the like chimney.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of makes sense, but it's still.
Yeah, the frozen brick against the wall. Like even with the insulation, it just froze.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So anyways, it's fucking cold here in Illinois. And there's snow in Florida.
Yeah.
So I guess less than a week into office, and Trump has solved global warming.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yesterday's high was -2.
Yes. Yes.
I left the house yesterday morning and it was -10.
Yeah.
I left the house this morning. I believe it was -3.
Yes.
It's been freaking cold.
Very cold.
And it's not really warmed up. It just temperatures fluctuate just a couple degrees day and night.
Yep.
You know, maybe a huge 10-degree swing.
Good evening, the Haram Life. I have plans to raid your
the
show.
Haram Life here? I didn't see him. Where'd he go?
Yeah,
there's the Haram.
I have plans to raid the stream after we're done here, so.
Yeah, so be ready.
Set up your
retards incoming.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Fucking Sephirotu's on Tower Gang tonight, so I'm sure they're all gonna go do that.
Ew.
But that's all right. That's all right. I'll be watching Haram Life.
Yeah.
Hey, and Reality Czar's here. Sweet.
What?
Hey, man.
What?
Dang.
What up, Nate? How are you doing today, sir? I am happy to see you here.
Dang.
Tower. No, that's true. There we go.
Tower gay. It's pretty.
It's pretty gay. They rate dicks. There's no other way to describe it as gay.
Yeah, it's pretty gay. It's pretty gay.
It's as gay as this Episcopalian bishop that gave this fucking
twunt.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're going to talk about. You know, I don't like to talk about politics on this show. So what better way to incorporate politics
What better way to not talk about politics than to drag religion into it?
Yeah. Well, she did it to herself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she did.
So
anyways, yeah. So the Episcopals, there's problems.
Yeah. Well, they've had huge problems. Anybody in our audience who is still a member of the Episcopal Church, be ashamed of yourself.
I agree.
I
mean, honestly, like if you go to a church and they have a fucking gay flag, or if that denomination, maybe not your church, maybe not yours specifically, but if your denomination puts up those fucking gay flags, You
Yeah.
should get the fuck out of there.
Well, also, if your denomination has openly ordained gay bishops and priests who are in openly gay marriages and
Yeah,
relationships.
sodomites don't get into heaven.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Not in my mosque.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I agree. That's, I mean, yeah. Yeah,
so
yeah.
just so everybody knows, because I've heard some things from people like, oh, yeah, did you see that later? National Cathedral. The National Cathedral is an Episcopalian church. It is not a Catholic cathedral. It's not a real cathedral because it's not Catholic.
Right, yeah. It's just the name of a building.
And then also, before I even get into this crazy lady, I would like to give everybody a quick breakdown on the Episcopal Church. If you people don't know anything about Episcopalians, where they came from and what their religion is.
Oh, yes. How did they come to be?
So here's how the Episcopalians came to be. So in the 16th century, King Henry wanted a divorce, and the Pope said, no, you have no grounds for a divorce. Just because you want to fuck this other bitch, I'm not giving you a divorce.
Fair.
Very fair, very in the eyes of God, yeah. So what he decided to do was he decided that he is going to basically copy and paste the Catholic Church, remove Pope, insert himself. So basically, the Anglican Church is just a copy and pasted Catholic Church. That's why they have so many things in common, because they basically just said, okay, for the sake of the people, so for the sake of the people and whatever, I'm just going to copy and paste. So you have the exact same religion, but instead of answering to the Pope, you're going to answer to me. I'm in charge now.
Which also, happy accident, turned all of that revenue, all of those buildings, everything ended up belonging to the king.
Anything the Catholic Church owned.
So the money that used to go in a circle in the community, where like well-off people would give alms for the poor, and then the church would give that to the poor, that stopped.
Right.
It all just went straight to King Henry's pocket.
And then everything that the Catholic Church owned in England, the buildings and property, everything, it just became property of him now.
Yeah.
He just took it by force.
Hello, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. So that's where the Anglicans came from.
Yeah.
Now, in 1776, a bunch of Freemasons decided that they were going to have a revolution in this country.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So the Freemasons had their revolution and decided that they didn't want to be part of the king anymore. So now you've got all of these Anglican people who live in America who, because they were all British before the revolution.
Right, yeah, that's where they all came from.
Yeah, they all came. So you've got all these Anglican people here now, but now you go, well, we can't really have the King of England as head of our church because we just defeated him in a war.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So what they decided to do was they invented the Episcopal Church, which was basically copy and paste Anglican, and then just put nobody in charge of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. They had bishops and stuff,
Right, yeah.
But there was no head of the church.
No, they just basically said, I have an idea.
Yeah. In true Freemasonic fucking thing. Let's just copy and paste this and we'll just get rid of the heads of the church and we can manipulate it how we want.
Nice.
So that's where Episcopalians come from. It's a knockoff of a knockoff.
Yes.
One, because the knockoff, because I want a divorce, because I want to bang other bitches and you won't let me. So I'm leaving. And then other like, okay, well, we really hate everything that is Christian. So we're going to remove you and knock off, and then we can manipulate this as we see fit down the road. And that's where you're at today with Episcopalians and what they stand for as far as gay rights and homosexual everything and pride flags and just leftist. It's all Freemasonry. It's all derived from Freemasonry.
Yes.
You can have a different opinion of that if you'd like. You can tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Like if you're an Episcopalian and you're dead set on your religion, like I understand that, but you are sorry, it's a knockoff fake religion, and that's why it has led to where it is today.
Yeah,
that's why you have this crazy bitch.
That's why that. So this isn't Catholic Emily talking to you. This is just Emily, the almost 35-year-old human being talking to you. If your religion moves the fucking goalposts at any point in time, it's no longer a religion.
Yeah.
It's a cult. It's a persuade you with whatever they think they can do. So if your religion has changed the goalposts in any shape or form, then like it's probably not a religion.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah, and I will back it up by saying yes.
And this is
There are woke Catholic bishops and priests,
for sure.
but they don't control the organization. The organization is, and the Pope doesn't even control it. The Pope wants to change the doctrine of the church. He needs to call an ecumenical council, and
he
all
has
the
to find
bishops need to
people
agree on this stuff.
to him doing
Yeah.
that, and then they also have to agree to sit there and fucking have the ecumenical council, which
Right.
ain't
So
gonna
even though occasionally the Pope says some dumb shit, and you've got a bunch, and I'll cover some Catholic bishops that are ridiculous. They don't run the church, and the belief of the church has not changed in thousands of years.
Right.
You know, they can stand there and say whatever dumb stuff they want.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the doctrine of the church.
No.
Whereas the doctrine of the Episcopal Church is the same as the doctrine of the Anglican Church, which is gays, trannies, and climate change.
But then also, it used to not be that. So Emily, she's not in here right now. I'm assuming she's still dealing with frozen pipes. Let's all pray for her real quick.
Yes.
But
And then Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
But Emily was raised Episcopalian, and she's a little bit older than me. And I know without being Episcopalian, the religion, the church that she was brought up in is not the same Episcopal church that is being presented to her today. So, and this is also where you find a lot of people saying, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Because again, if your religion moves the fucking goalposts and you, a genuine believer of the word and follower of Christ, will say, "Rip, no thank you. I ain't about to be caught up in that church house and get smoked.
Yeah.
Not me. I got my own shit I'll get smoked for. I ain't about to go down with y'all having a fucking gay old time. No thank you."
Yes, they've always had bad false doctrine, sola scriptura and all that nonsense. But yes, the Episcopalian Church wasn't always apostate. They are absolutely apostate now. They have changed their teachings of their church. So like I said, it's one thing to have a few rogue bishops and priests saying things that don't align with the teachings of the church. It's another thing to change the teachings of the church.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at.
I agree with you, Mad Miller. Unitarians are the fucking worst.
I don't know, man. Episcopalians seem to be beating them on that.
Maybe.
Honestly, same, but different at this point.
Right. That's exactly what I was about to say. Maybe same, but different. But also, I could go to Supreme Court hearings and find the Unitarian Church on there, and all of the things I read about removing God from our country. For what it's worth, I haven't seen their name pop up. It's usually the Unitarians and the fucking Jews. It's those two people who always buddy up and make a problem.
Yeah. The Unitarians and the Jews definitely team up a lot.
Right.
They both worship Satan. That's why.
Right. Well, and I mean, ultimately, like, it seems as though these
the Episcopalians also worship Satan, along with the ELCA of Lutherans. I'm not going to say all Lutherans because I know the other night and the LCMS are pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the main branch, Lutherans, Episcopalians, Methodists, and Presbyterians have all gone rogue, woke, and are now teaching straight up sins to people.
Yes.
Leading people away from God.
And amen, you are correct. But that's not how they present themselves.
What's that?
He says that Unitarian isn't a form of a Christian denomination by design.
Yes.
And yes, I'll give you that. They don't claim to be Christian, but
they work that way.
But they have churches. They have churches and they have congregations and they have fucking leverage.
And they have tax exemption.
That's the other thing too. And shout out, Not Nice Guy. You can go watch Artificial Dissemination. He just had a show earlier today on germs and viruses, and apparently proved that AIDS is gay. I mean, AIDS is fake.
Oh, it's definitely gay.
It's definitely gay. But that's, I mean, I don't know. Fucking string Fauci's ass up.
Yeah, we just had to talk about this the other day because you can't watch anything on YouTube or Hulu or any type of TV without seeing a million of these goddamn commercials for these gay prep drugs. And it's funny because it's nothing but gay blacks and trannies in these commercials. And it's like, yeah,
it's just blacks and browns.
Yeah.
That's all they put in these stupid fucking HIV prep commercials.
Because that's the only people that have AIDS. is the blacks and the browns. The gay blacks and browns. They're the only ones with AIDS by design.
Yeah.
And also, they're the only ones that are that irresponsible that they can't bother to not get AIDS. You know what I mean? They're basically animals. They can't go around for 2 minutes without fucking each other. And
asking them to wear protection is an extra step.
Yeah. Or do it something.
Or don't mix.
Yeah, it's just
members and buttholes. Maybe don't do that.
Right. But it's nonsense. So anyway, so let's get to our first thing here on X. There's gonna be a lot of posts from Calvin Robinson today, just because
those targeted ads don't hit my algorithm. Well, it must be nice.
Yeah.
It must be nice, Meat Cavern. It's not even the algorithm, babe. It's like watching Hulu.
Yeah, we're watching Hulu.
Or
The ads are the ads.
Or watching Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Right? Like any of them, like I don't know. It's like the only commercial we get, and it's so fucking annoying. It's either the prep commercial or the Hims commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to fucking just good old Viagra commercials? Why we got to make it? Some men have a difficult time in the bathroom. It's so fucking gross.
Also, we're sitting down watching TV with our daughter, 11-year-old daughter, and all you hear on TV is, "Are you having trouble getting hard and staying hard?"
And it's to the point where she's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to explain this.
She's to the age where she knows what they're talking about at this point, and it's like, yeah, like I shouldn't have to sit here and watch age-appropriate TV shows with my family TV shows with my daughter, and every time a commercial comes on, it's, "Do you need to get harder? Do you want to fuck your wife better?"
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on,
Have
people.
you been sexually irresponsible and gotten an STD? Here's this medication you could take every day for the rest of your fucking life, you degen.
Yeah. It's a thing, and I'm tired of it.
Oh my gosh, Eamon, I am so glad that you said this. Sorry, I don't mean to steal your mouse from you. AIDS.
Thank you, not nice guy, for the.
Sorry, go ahead. You could thank him. AIDS is a result of party drugs and shitty immune systems. You can get AIDS by being malnourished. So yeah, honestly, I agree with you, because in the 80s, what were they fucking doing? A bunch of uppers and fucking.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
That's all they were doing.
Not nice guy
They
says,
weren't eating, they weren't drinking, they weren't doing nothing.
if sodomy is a sin and birth control is a sin, which is worse, protected or unprotected gay sex? Well,
The answer to that is abstinence, you fuck.
Yeah. Also, does it really split hairs now? Like, oh, I'll have gay sex, which is a sin, but I can't use birth control because that's a double sin. Also, there's no such thing as birth control and gay sex.
Yeah.
You
don't need it.
You're not going to
You
get
don't
that
need
dude
it.
pregnant. I promise you, bud.
Yeah.
Okay, not nice guy. You can have unprotected sex with dudes all you want. I promise you won't knock them up. Okay.
Don't do the sodomy. Yeah, I guess.
Yes, thank you,
Gun
Eamon
to
Rat.
my head, make a choice. Which is worse? Sodomy. Sodomy is worse.
Yeah, sodomy is worse than using birth control by far.
For sure.
By far.
That's my make a decision.
Yeah. But babies are downies. Thanks for that, Haram. Oh.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know, Squatch. We keep going back and forth between AIDS is fake and then how you get AIDS.
Right.
I'm lost myself, bud.
Yeah. It's fake, but if you do get it, it's because you're gay.
Right. Yes. That's the moral of the story here. Is it's fake, but if you get it, you're gay.
Which, to be honest, right? If fucking little four-eyed Tony popped out tomorrow and said, "Trust the science. I made the AIDS virus to kill the sodomites. Don't be mad at me." I'd be like, "You're like 40-something years late, nigga."
Right, bud?
But thanks, I guess. I think if you would have told us that was the plan to begin with, we might have gone with it. We probably wouldn't have kept Magic Johnson alive. We probably wouldn't have spent all this money in fucking prep and everything else that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, the goal is to make money. So
But hey, at least we got rid of Eazy-E, and Freddie Mercury. So win. There's two wins there at least.
Sure. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so up to our first post from Father Calvin Robinson. Why are people surprised by this hard left political activist priestess? Washington National Cathedral is not a church. The Episcopal Church is apostate. They celebrate sacramental sodomy with openly practicing homosexual bishops. They are Antichrist. They are Antichrist. And I really don't want to watch this lady talk.
That's all right. We can do it.
All
We've
right.
done worse things.
I guess. I've done worse things for money. Yeah.
There you go.
And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God,
Just for what it's worth,
I ask you
you guys watch Melania.
to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in
There's no such thing as a
Democratic,
transgender child.
Republican, and independent families.
Look at JD Vance. Like, fuck you.
Some
I'm a
who
Catholic.
fear for
Get the
their
fuck- Oh, yeah,
lives.
you shouldn't even be here because you're Catholic.
Honest.
And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants.
Okay, I'm going to pause real quick because that is all these people are to people like her. All the leftists. All these people are is your janitors and the people to pick your food in the farm. Like, they don't actually care about it.
They just want servants.
They basically openly admit these people are servants and we want servants.
Yeah.
That's basically what she's saying here.
Yeah, but they're doing a good thing by letting them come here and be our servants.
Right. Come be our slaves. It was wrong when we brought the blacks here to be slaves, but we bring the Mexicans here to be slaves. It's different.
We didn't bring them.
The Jews did, yes. I understand. I'm just saying.
They brought the bioweapon and unleashed it.
Yeah.
What happened? But
I'm
no, I understand. What
I'm just saying, though. You know what I mean? Like, it was wrong when we did it before, but it's somehow different now.
But the other side of that, the other side of their liberal logic is that we're not going to Africa and snatching them up out of the
They're
huts.
coming here willingly.
They're walking here 45 miles a day in flip-flops.
Right. Get some fucking shoes. Okay.
Who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals. They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation,
Honestly, I would have fucking got up and walked out.
but the vast
Yep.
majority
I
of
really
immigrants
would've.
are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples.
First of all, they shouldn't be members of synagogues or mosques coming
I
here.
ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away.
Okay. That's we get the point.
We made it a minute and a half, guys.
Yeah,
We almost finished it.
we get the point.
Okay, all right. This bitch is LARPing. First of all,
Oops, sorry guys.
first and foremost, she's LARPing. Ladies, we're not even supposed to speak in church.
No.
And I have come to the understanding that the reason we're not supposed to speak in church is because of our lady brains
Mm-hmm.
and because of the vast amount of dumbness we're capable of.
Also, you're responsible for the fall of man. So
Well, that too. So at first, I was like, that's dumb. But then I sat back and I objectively thought about all the things that I might actually maybe want to say in church. I shouldn't say those. I should ask my husband in the fucking car ride on the way home as to not embarrass my husband or embarrass myself. Or I should just probably not worry my little lady brain about it. So point number 1, we're not supposed to speak in church.
yeah,
Point number fucking 2, we're definitely not supposed to be teaching anyone.
nope.
Small childrens. The small childrens are what we're allowed to teach. Don't be mad at me
Be mad
for
at St.
saying
Paul.
that. Don't be mad at me for saying it. I'm just saying that's all we're qualified to do because our lady brains can't be trusted. They just can't be.
St. Paul said it in the Bible. Women are not to speak, and they are not to hold authority over men in church. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because like all these Protestants that ordain their ladies, like the Episcopals, that they all believe in sola scriptura, scripture alone.
Mm-hmm. But scripture alone tells them that what they're doing is wrong.
Right. So they just ignore that part of scripture.
Right, because they rely on their own interpretations. Because Jesus definitely didn't say, lean not on your own understanding. That wasn't a thing he said.
Right.
That's not found in the Bible anywhere.
Yeah.
He definitely said, come up with your own interpretations
Right.
and fucking run
I believe
with
that.
it,
Yeah. I
son."
believe it's in Matthew where Jesus said, hey guys, read this, interpret any way you want and do whatever you want. I'm okay with that.
As long as you read it.
He absolutely did not say the gate is narrow.
Nope, didn't say that.
Definitely didn't say I'm the only way. No, he basically said, do whatever you want, guys. It's open. Everybody goes to heaven. I'm pretty sure that's how it went down.
First come, first serve.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when we're at capacity.
And then Calvin Robinson's best point about this whole thing right here, and this is what kind of irritates me. What I miss.
JC, can I talk in black church? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We can.
It's not a Catholic church, so it's not a real church. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, Sola Scriptura is gay as hell, not nice guy.
Yes.
It's what leads somehow.
Subliminal? No, you cannot.
What's funny, not nice guy, is somehow Sola Scriptura leads to all this accepting of gays and female priests and stuff, even though it implicitly says in the Bible that all that stuff is wrong.
Right.
It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
They want to bash Catholics for their, oh, you guys are with your traditions and this and that.
Worship.
It's like you guys believe in something that you can't even abide by. You believe in a sola scriptura that you refuse to abide by. Because every time the scripture says something you disagree with, you just reinterpret it to mean something else, even though it clearly says one thing. You just go, you know what? I'm
gonna Jew loophole this.
Yeah, basically, I'm a Jew loophole this. Protestants are the Jews of the Christian world.
Yes.
Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, look, Mormons and Catholics agree on yet another thing. No, I know, it's shocking. It's crazy. Just
Shut
come
up,
hang
Mormon.
out with us. Come hang out with us.
No, shut up, Mormon. Nobody wants to hear from you.
Come hang out with us.
No, I'm just kidding. No, we love
you
not
run
nice
it back.
guy.
If you run it back far enough, not nice guy, your people were Catholic. I promise you.
Right.
Promise you they were.
Anyway, so the thing that infuriates me the most about this lady, I'm not even going to call her a bishop because she's not a bishop. There's no such thing as a female bishop. Even if there was a such thing as a female bishop, she's not in the Catholic Church. She's not a real bishop to me. She doesn't have valid holy orders.
Right.
She has no apostolic succession. She has no valid holy orders.
Nope, she's just LARPing.
She's just she's some lady who got together with some dudes and was like, you know what? Let's be bishops.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. So anyway, Calvin Robinson's point here is the best point I have seen on this, and it really infuriates me about what she did because this is what she should have been doing.
Yeah.
And Calvin Robinson says, the bishop, in quotes, at the national prayer service missed a huge opportunity. She could have proclaimed the gospel. Instead, she chose to lecture on her radical extremist politics. If we follow the scriptures, we would not be in this mess we are in right now, which is absolutely true. Instead of taking this turn on live television with millions, if not billions of people watching,
the whole world,
people who may not have ever heard the scriptures otherwise, she could have shared the gospel and the love of Jesus. And instead, she decided to do a political stunt.
Yep.
And let's hear Calvin Robinson's 2-minute take on this.
I share your take, actually, in that it's good that this was exposed because we've just had 48 hours of jubilant celebration and I'm still euphoric. And I know everyone I bump into the street, everyone's wearing MAGA hats and scarves and everyone's kind of having a great time. But it's good to be reminded of why we had to fight and why it was important that we won because of people like this. And in that sermon, right, she's got the best opportunity she'll ever have in her life to put forward the gospel to many people who will never hear it in their lives. This is the national theatre. All eyes are on her in this moment. Now, as a Christian, she could stand there and say, Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. He died on the cross for our sins. He offers every single one of us salvation. All we have to do is repent of our sins and have faith in him. Come to church. This place is open for you. You are welcome here. She could have said that. She could have proclaimed the gospel. Instead, she chose to lecture Donald Trump on her leftist radicalist.
I just want to pause real quick. JC says she should have never been allowed in the building, let alone invited to speak at the lecture for the president. The problem is, JC, that the National Cathedral is an Episcopalian church. It's not Catholic. She is the Episcopal Bishop of DC. It is her church.
Yeah.
That is, think about that for a minute. This bitch runs the National Cathedral.
The Episcopal Church in DC.
Yeah, that's the National Cathedral because this nation was founded as an Episcopal because, again, as I said, the Anglican just chop off the king and insert ourselves.
Right.
Which was just Catholicism and chop out the Pope and insert the king.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a copy and paste religion of nonsense.
extremist politics, which just goes to show the mess that the church is in at the moment. But what's interesting is, what did she say at the pulpit? Oh, we need these immigrants for our menial labor. Who's going to clean my dishes? Who's going to make my coffee? We need these people. We need these servants, essentially, is what she's saying. And of course, she's doing that, as you're aware, she's doing the old thing of conflating illegal immigration with legal immigration, saying not all immigrants are criminals. Lots of them pay taxes. Yes, the legal immigrants pay taxes because they can work. Illegal immigrants do not pay taxes because they work illegally. Therefore, they are criminals because they're here breaking the law illegally. She knows this. She's a smart woman, but she's conflating on purpose to make it look like Donald Trump is anti-immigration. Now, as someone who is not a US citizen, that is living and working in America, I'm thankful that there are some legal entries for people to come into this country. But there should not be people coming in illegally breaking the law. Nobody should be breaking the law. That should always be punishable. That should always be a crime. But then she's also breaking the church law by being at the pulpit in the first place, Charlie. The scriptures are very clear on this, that women cannot become bishops. A bishop should be a husband of one wife, it says. It goes as far as saying a woman should be silent in church. I know some people with modern ears will cringe at that, but this is what the scriptures teach us. If we followed the scriptures, we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in right now.
Yeah, he's 100% right on. As much as I really wish Father Calvin Robinson would be in communion with Rome, it's hard to disagree with the guy.
Yeah.
And he has valid holy orders.
Right.
So he's Old Catholics, which are a semi-break off from the 600s that used to be in communion with Rome, but aren't anymore, but still have valid holy orders that are recognized by the Catholics and the Orthodox.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's a valid priest. I admire the man. He says a lot of great things. I just really wish he would become a Catholic priest, like a real Catholic priest, not an old Catholic priest, or Norwegian Catholic is what it used to be when they were still in communion with Rome. So, but either way, this isn't about Calvin Robinson. This is about some crazy lesbian bishop.
Yeah.
Because they are lesbians, Amy and Rat.
You nailed it.
All these women priests and fake bishops and fake priests, they're all lesbians because that's the modern church, the modern Protestant evangelical whatever church.
And also, for what it's worth, as a woman, not that we don't have many options, but if you decide to take the career route, the be somebody in the world route, I don't even know how to word this right, but eventually you just end up this old, mean, hateful spinster because you're not fulfilling your purpose. Your purpose is to find a man and make the babies. That's all we're here to do.
And run the house and the day-to-day life so that your husband can focus on the important things.
So he could be the leader.
Yeah.
I think.
No, and that's absolutely true. If you are a woman out in the workforce being a boss bitch, you're going to wind up just like this lady. You're going to wind up with the same exact haircut, and the same exact train of thoughts, and the same morals, and the same. Yeah, because the world kicked your butt because you tried to be a man in a world that is designed for it. Like you're not a man, you're a woman. A woman pretending to be a man in the world is always going to be miserable and is going to get kicked and is going to just wind up like this. An old shrew that hates everything and everybody.
Yeah.
Like none of these people ever look happy. You ever look at any of these people? They never ever look happy.
No, they do not. They do not look happy. They look absolutely miserable, and they sound even more miserable. And their only objective is to make everyone as miserable as they are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope. Not that I hope you guys still see me when I'm that old, but if I do start to get old and we're still doing this and I say anything about the idea of cutting my hair to my chin,
it'll never happen.
Jump through the fucking screens and snatch me up. Don't let me do that.
Your husband won't let it happen. Don't worry.
Thank you, babe. Because it is so hard for me as a 35-year-old woman to look at my older women and want to get old. I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense, but when I look at these old women in the world, they all have fucking short Dutch boy haircuts. They all fucking hate life. They're all miserable sacks
Yeah.
of sad.
Because they had a good husband that let them kick him around, and because of that, they divorced him, and now they're old and single, or they're old and married to a man that they hate just because they didn't want to die alone. And looking back and regretting all the decisions they made in their life, but instead of reflecting on that and going, man,
I could be better.
this is a poor decision. Let me warn other women. No, instead, what they do is they go out and try to convince other women that what they did is the
Just
right
as
way. Yeah,
miserable.
right. Because that's how women are. Women hate other women, and they want them to be just as miserable as them. They don't want to see any woman succeed. So any woman that tells you to follow the career path and do this and do that and do what I said, divorce your husband and go bang a bunch of dudes because you only live once. Like any woman who says that, to get as far away from them as possible. If you're a woman, get as far away from them as possible, because they are miserable and they are just trying to ruin your life because they ruin their own.
Yep.
It's all there is to it.
And at the very least, they'll have you sitting there with them to commiserate with.
Yeah.
You and their 17 cats.
Yeah. So here is the same crazy fake bishop lady back in 2020. Let me share this.
Oh, let's read the caption.
Yeah, I was going to.
Okay.
That's why I didn't bring it up full screen yet.
Perfect.
So, not a bishop or priest, according to 1 Timothy 2:12, which we've already covered,
Yeah.
and a heretic. If that real Donald Trump needs a religious affairs advisor to help him appoint godly pastors for events, he could ask at Calvin Robinson,
Agreed.
which he should.
Make Calvin Robinson official chaplain of the White House. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just made it, and it's Father Calvin.
You know, the priest that hears J.D. Vance's confessions in the White House and in Washington, they should probably appoint him instead.
Oh, that's fine. I don't give a shit.
Do you even know who that is?
No.
Father Chad Ripperger.
Oh, well, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, Ripperger.
Yeah, should be Chad. It should. I love
Yeah.
Calvin Robinson. Don't get me wrong, but he's not in communion with Rome, and he's no exorcist.
And he's
Not-
no Father Ripperger.
He's no Father Ripperger. Yeah, he's
That's
definitely no Father Ripperger.
He's got time. He's
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, he's young. He's got time to find his way. But yeah, no, Father Ripperger's already around the White House all the time anyway.
Yeah, just have
now with
Father
J.D.
Ripperger
Vance.
do it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yes, it'd be awesome.
Thanks for telling me that.
It would be
I
the
did not
greatest thing
know-
ever.
I did not know that's who JD got to deal with.
Yeah, there's a
Good for him.
I saw a video of during the election of J.D. Vance and one of the other high Catholics in Trump's cabinet in a room getting ready to do their confessions with Father Ripperger and whatnot. Like,
Nice.
so, but either way, so yeah, so the pastor who criticized Trump today in 2020.
Jenny, I will give you a pass, darling. I did not mean that you're one of these old ladies. I don't want to be like, I love you. It was just a statement. It wasn't about you.
Speaking in generalities, sweetie, we're speaking in generalities. You don't seem miserable to me.
My mother-in-law has the short hair. My
Yes,
own
my mother
mother
has, yeah.
My own mother has the short hair. Both of my mother-in-laws have the short. Every woman older than me in my family has a pixie cut or a fucking weirdo bob. Like
Yeah.
those are the cuts that the women in my direct vicinity get, and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So anyway, so here's what this fake wannabe bishop had to say in.
Why did you want to come out here and send
Their
this
message. It is a message
Why are
of
her
a
arms
call.
I was just about to say, first of all, why do these lady priests always cut the sleeves off of their stuff? And why do they wear a Roman collar even though they're not fucking Roman Catholic? It's retarded. Like, they LARP so bad. They all want to be Catholic so bad in the visual and aspect of it.
but not actually.
But none of them want to actually hold the Catholic faith.
Yeah, I don't know.
For justice, for swift justice for George Floyd, for systemic justice for all brown and black people who have been under the
two
knee of
masks
this
on.
country
Wait, she got
in
two
ways
masks
that we
on.
have witnessed time and again. This
You're really
is
trusting
wrong.
God, huh? Trusting God
and
so much
this
wearing two
rising
masks.
up, this spontaneous uprising of people
And a hat
mostly
for the sun.
half
Yeah.
my age or younger. They're the ones we should be listening to.
And they're angry at the
and they're
president.
so angry.
They're
And
angry at the president. So what is your message to
To-
President
to-
Trump today?
Well, he should. I've given up speaking to President Trump. We need to replace President Trump. We need leadership.
How was she allowed to speak at this? Again, like I said, it's her
I-
cathedral. So I guess
Why did they have to have it there?
because it's the National Cathedral.
Is that where every single other thing
That
has
will
been
lead
held?
up-
Because this is the first time in my adult life that I've ever heard of this national cathedral or seen a president sitting in a church.
Yeah, I think they do it pretty often. I think the only reason you're seeing it for the first time is because the media wants to
So
put
it
out.
went wrong.
Well, because the media wants to show that look, the priests and the bishops hate Trump. They're trying to make a thing out of it. They're trying to say, look, even the Christians don't like him, but these aren't real Christians, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the only reason why you're hearing about now, because it's divisive, and they can.
We need leadership that will lead in the way in this country.
Yeah, it's all nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I covered how
Shame on.
Episcopalian is nothing but a fake religion. We talked about the crazy bishop lady.
You could just start a tower, Thorn.
What's Thorn doing?
I'm only massaging David's towers.
Anyway, we'll show Emily's little funny post here because it's funny.
I just like to dunk on the laugh of self-control.
Yeah. So, Protestantism. We will use grape juice for communion because alcohol is bad for you. Catholics.
Pope just drinking
Pope
beers.
drinking beers. Yes. Pope's drinking beers.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And this funny one. This is old news, but I came across my timeline again today and I had
Funny in an ironic way.
A woman forgives her mother's killer and visits him in prison. Upon release, she gives him a job working at the same house where he killed her mother. He murders her in the same house. Fucking liberal. Liberal women are so dumb.
The white women are white
So,
women.
so dumb. Like, what is wrong with liberal women? Anybody?
Brain damage.
It's ridiculous.
It's indoctrination, brain damage.
I guess, but like this man kills your mother. Will you not come on and hang out at my house with me in the same house you killed her in? You're not gonna do anything bad to me. I'm sure.
Yeah, you totally served your time and have been reformed. Who gives a shit about recidivism rates?
Yeah. It's hilarious. Oh, and then another, since we're on the funny stuff. I saw this and I had to.
You gotta show.
I'm going to show it. Hold on. I'm trying to compose.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Let me
Thank you, Thorn.
let me restart. Okay, so here.
See,
Oh,
Emily-
thank you, Thorn. Let me.
See, Emily, that is the mindset, girl. That's the same thing I thought when this happened like 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, girl,
Thorn with an N.
girl, why didn't you just kill him? Like, duh. That would have been the move, not get
Right.
killed by the fucking idiot. Oh, nice.
Okay, we'll have fun talking about gay shit.
That's all right. Well, tell Nosferatu, I said, don't stand in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Her and her long, weird fingers and condescending talking.
Anyway, so here's New Orleans in the snow, and this melanated gentleman is
A New Orleans resident?
yes.
You know, we usually sprinkle salt up north, but down here, this is what you sprinkle right here.
Creole seasoning on the snow to melt the snow.
I know that
It gonna work? You gotta season the steps.
I know that he's just joking.
Are you sure?
I
Are you sure he's
I
just
actually
joking?
heard the words he said,
Well,
and
what'd
I
he say?
do believe
Oh,
that
up
he
north
is
we use
joking.
salt. Okay.
Up north we use salt, but down here we season it in our steps.
Yeah.
So like I think that it's I mean,
It could be just a joke to go viral.
it might be, but also I would not put that past a southerner.
No, that's what I mean.
I-
It just
I just
seems.
wouldn't.
Yeah. Would we got salt?
I live down there. I know.
Yeah. They would probably get their table salt and start pouring it on. You know what I mean? Like, no, you need rock salt, buddy.
I mean, when I ran out of rock salt the other day, I knew that it wouldn't work, but I thought to myself, if I have an extra can of Morton salt in the cupboard, you bet your fucking ass I'm doing that instead of eating shit again. But I did not have a backup.
Oh yeah, Emily ate shit on the ice the other day.
Hard.
After I said, "Babe, look, there's a big patch of ice right there. Go around it."
Yeah.
Right through it.
Right through it. Right through it. I thought I had good footing. Did not. Shwoom! Straight down. Busted open my elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Not really busted it open, but anyways, it hurted. But yeah, yeah, I don't know, Zatarans on the fucking steps. Welcome to New Orleans. We season our steps here.
Yeah.
Even the steps have seasoning.
And then to be fair,
To be fair.
oh,
There's a different one too.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
to be fair, if you don't watch Letterkenny, you probably don't get that, but it's funny as hell. You should watch Letterkenny.
I was gonna say, if you have Hulu or Crave and you haven't watched Letterkenny yet, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
The best time to watch Letterkenny is in the wintertime.
So, yes, it is. So, I've bashed on the Episcopals and Protestants in general enough. I will call out the Catholics because
Oh yeah, they're fucking up too.
yeah, the Catholics are fucking up too. So from one of our favorite Catholic YouTube creators and Twitter accounts, Pontificator Max Anthony Stein, or Dr. Anthony Stein.
Ah, yes.
He put some respect on that name, Dr. Anthony Stein.
Mm-hmm.
He says, please don't take our $500 million US from us. And that is basically what the USCCB, United States Catholic Conference of Bishops, they put out a letter, and I will read this to you guys. So Archbishop Broglio, who's the head of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, so Washington, in response to this week's executive order signed by President Trump, Archbishop Timothy P. Broglio, president of U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, offered the following statement.
So that way they can see it too.
I thought I had shared it.
Well, no, you were showing the X one.
Oh, yeah,
It
I'm sorry.
opens up.
I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's why I have a mouse.
Okay. Many of the issues President Trump addressed in his recent executive orders, along with what may be issued in the coming days, are matters on which the church has much to offer. Some provisions contained in the executive order, such as those focused on the treatment of immigrants and refugees, foreign aid, expansion of the death penalty, and environment, are deeply troubling and will have negative consequences, many of which will harm the most vulnerable among us. Other provisions in the executive orders can be seen in a more positive light, such as recognizing the truth about each human person as male or female. So at least they do talk about the positives. I wish to reiterate that the Catholic Church is not aligned with any political party, neither is Bishops' Conference, no matter who occupies the White House or holds the majority in Capitol Hill. The Church's teachings remain unchanged. It is our hope that the leadership of our country will reconsider those actions which disregard not only human dignity of a few, but of us all. Following the ancient tradition, Pope Francis has declared 2025 as a Jubilee year of hope. As Christians, our hope is always in Jesus Christ, who guides us through storm, calm weather. He is the source of all truth. Our prayer is with the hope that as a nation blessed with many gifts, our actions demonstrate a genuine care for the most vulnerable sisters and brothers, including the unborn, the poor, the elderly, and infirm, and migrants and refugees, that just judge expects nothing less. Okay, so here's what I want to say about this, because it's much more tame than anything anybody else has put out. It is really, it's not horrible, but it is bad. So first of all, where were you guys when Obama and Biden and Pelosi were passing all these abortion laws, saying that you can have abortions up to 9 months and even after birth in some, post-term abortions,
right?
In some. Why did you guys not come out with a statement against any of that? That's definitely against the church's teachings.
Well, those same people still got to go to communion and claim being Catholic and didn't excommunicate.
So they kept their mouths shut for that. But when it comes to shutting down the migrants, now we got to come out and and first
Why
of all,
would that be?
and also, well, first of all, let me lay a little groundwork here. So the U.S. Conference of Bishops, there is 441 bishops in the United States. 4 of them have put out this statement. 4 of them. Now, there are some more liberal bishops. There's lots of middle of the road bishops, and there's lots of conservative bishops.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really these 4 high bishops who are super, super liberal decided to put this out.
Right.
And then also, let's not forget that with the immigration being shut down, all that money that the U.S. government was funneling to Catholic Charities for human trafficking, because Catholic Charities is not a Catholic organization. I'm telling you right now, it is not. They are a human trafficking organization at this point.
And
that's
also,
all they are.
And also, the church has said, like, it's not us. That's just their name.
Yeah. But because it's their name, they have to give 10% to the Vatican, and then another 10% to the U.S. Conference of Bishops. And then also there's other money funneled through the Conference of Bishops from this. So they're angry that they're going to be losing $500 million. That's what they're angry about. This has nothing to do with the migrants, because the teaching of the Bible all the way back to antiquity has been, the teaching of Christianity is render unto Caesar what is Caesar's and unto God what is God.
Yep.
It has also been that you respect and follow the rules set by your leaders and you don't question them, because yours is the kingdom of heaven. Don't bother yourself with what's happening out here on earth. Yours is the kingdom of heaven. Go out and spread the word. That is the stance of the church.
Yeah.
The stance of the church is not what these guys are talking about. The stance of the church is governments are free to do what governments want to do, because our
We don't give a shit
kingdom
about
is in
that.
heaven. It has nothing to do with down here.
Yeah.
You just keep praying and going to church and doing what you're supposed to do, and let them do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
That is the stance of the church. Not let us tell you what to do about. Not let us tell governments how to govern.
Right.
The stance of the church has always been too that nations are free to enforce their borders any way they see fit.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been the stance of the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Always.
Right.
Up until just recently. 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in the grand scheme
In
of
the grand
things,
scheme of things,
10 minutes ago, basically.
maybe 15.
Yeah.
Good evening, Dickie. My phone, I was like, I got the thing that you tagged me in it, and I went to pull it up, and my phone died on me, so it's sitting upstairs on the charger. But I did pop in and say something.
God bless Screwed Up Rebellion. How you doing?
God bless you.
And then Dickie Walnuts. Good to see you, sir. Arguing against little season theories in the GC. Yeah, if you believe in the little season theories, then you are gayer than AIDS.
Hey.
That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Being sad. Your soul isn't going to hell, Dickie. Calm down.
You'll be fine, bud.
It's not that serious, homie.
Well, maybe you are going to hell. I don't know you.
I don't think you're going.
Yeah. As long as you're baptized and you've accepted God as your
don't
Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior, and you go to church like you're supposed to, and receive the sacraments, you'll be fine.
I did hop into the group chat on our Nephilim Murder Crew account, and I popped something in there. And my stance is, I don't give a fuck what season we're in. Little season, big season, hot season, cold season. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter to me what season I'm in. All that it matters to me is that I don't fuck up and make God so disgusted and mad at me that I go to hell.
Right.
That's all I'm worried about. I don't care if it's little season, big season. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't affect my salvation.
Yeah, it can be the end of season 3 for all I care.
Right.
Beginning of season 4. Who cares?
And this is where I get a little frustrated, because as humans, we have a tendency to get distracted by fucking shiny thing. We have a tendency to get distracted by things that make our brain have a good time and go brrr.
Right. And that's all this.
All of it is a fun thought experiment.
It's a distraction is what it is. It's all distraction from what's really important in your Christian walk in life. Let's argue about whether we're in the post-millennial or the pre-millennial or the little season. How about you just not worry about that stuff?
How about
and
you just pray,
live a godly
go to
life,
church, and not be a piece of shit, and love thy neighbor? Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. That sounds better than arguing about
yes,
what
JC,
season we're in.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah. Straight down. I don't think you are, Dickie.
Yeah, you probably haven't received the Baptist. There is no Baptist version of the sacraments. Become Catholic.
I mean, I don't know. My baptism counts.
Yeah, baptism counts. By all means, be baptized.
Yeah.
That's step number 1. You want to go to heaven, get baptized.
The Baptists are good at baptizing. They waste 0 time baptizing your ass.
Jesus was really clear. I don't know why people don't get this about baptism. Jesus was very clear in the Bible about that. What must I do to be born again? Be baptized in water and the Spirit. You have to be baptized.
Yep.
You have to be baptized.
Right.
It says it in the Bible. Again, this is one of those things that sola scriptura people, you don't need to be baptized. It says it in the Bible. I thought you were sola scriptura.
Jesus didn't do
just like women can't be priests, but they're in the sola scriptura churches. They're priests, even though it says in the Bible you can't. Like it's nonsense. I don't understand this. These people's train of thought is so far off.
Jesus didn't do a damn thing until he was baptized.
Yeah, it's not symbolic. If it was symbolic, Jesus wouldn't have gotten baptized himself, even though as God incarnate, he did not have to be baptized.
Right. Oh, that's what he's saying. He's like, yeah, they think it's symbolic.
No, I know. That's why I was. That's why I went on my little rant. Yes, no, Dickie, you are right. It is not symbolic. Okay.
There you go.
You don't. It doesn't have to be full immersion. You pour water over your head. It's just as long as somebody says the words, "I baptize you in the name of the Father and in the Son and of the Holy Spirit." That's all it takes.
Good to go.
Doesn't even have to be a priest. It just has to be a fellow believer, just another Christian. Them's the rule. The actual rules. A Christian has to baptize you in water and say, I baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
Shout out Russell Brand and his Jonies.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. That was a little tacky. It was a little tacky, but that doesn't make it wrong.
no, as long as he used the proper words,
Yeah.
Then yes, as a Christian, he can do that.
Yep.
You can baptize people. It doesn't have to be a priest.
Yep. Some little 16-year-old CNA way back when baptized a little Jewish baby that was about to die. And then the Pope said, we ain't giving him back.
Oh, yeah, no, the sacraments are definitely not symbolic.
Oh, no, definitely not.
In John chapter 6, when Jesus says, you must eat of my flesh and drink of my blood, and everybody got up and walked out, and he doubled and tripled down instead of saying, whoa, guys, I'm just being symbolic here.
It's metaphorical.
Yeah. No, it's pretty obvious that you must
He meant it.
partake in the Eucharist.
Oh, Rusty Rockets is retarded.
Yeah, very retarded.
But Rusty Rockets will always have a special place in my heart because I don't know. I kind of like the junkie. And I'm not at all claiming credit for his conversion, but back in like 2019, I actively started praying for him to convert. I was like, this man needs Jesus.
I need Jesus.
He needs Jesus. Jesus, find Russell Brand and tap him on the shoulder and say, give up this woo-woo bullshit, son. It ain't it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look. We forgot about this one.
Oh, okay.
So, oh, hey, stop sharing.
Whoops.
Maybe I stopped sharing. Who knows? Somebody stopped sharing. Let me reshare.
Somebody stopped. Ken Russell baptized people in tidy whities. And that's the thing is like, I'm like, the tidy whities, I don't know if that's necessary. I think that's Russ just being Russ, but like he can baptize another person.
If he's a legitimate Christian, which I believe that he is,
Right.
Then yes, he can baptize. Doing it in tidy whities is in poor taste, but
It's a choice.
But it's valid as long as he uses the proper words.
I mean, especially when we consider that like way back in the day, people used to get baptized naked.
Mm-hmm.
Naked.
Yeah, so that's funny.
You'd go down to the river with nothing.
So I will bring this up because one of the things people always talk about when they talk about female priests is in the Bible they had female deacons.
Well,
Yeah.
all we were doing was baptizing.
That was the
other
point.
women
So
folk.
that was the thing. They were technically called deacons because back in those days they did full immersion baptism naked.
Yep.
That was the way it was done, and they couldn't have men touching naked women.
Yeah.
You couldn't. It was completely inappropriate and against God's law. So they had to have women to do it, and that's all these women were. They were fellow believers that would baptize the women. That's it. They had no authority in the church. Like I said, any believer can baptize a person into the faith.
Our neighbor offered to baptize our kid.
No,
You remember that?
I don't remember now.
Oh, well, for what it's worth,
Scott?
for what it's worth, it was like one of the 4 times he's tried to talk to us and we were just shithoused. But yeah, it was, he was like, we're doing it now a couple weeks from now. I'm baptizing the kids. You want me to do Hadley too? No, thanks.
No, it is not valid if you were baptized by a trans gay furry because they're not an actual Christian. It has to be a fellow Christian.
You were baptized into something.
Yeah.
What? I don't know.
Anyway, let me share this real quick. This would be awesome. Let's name the Gulf between Mexico and the U.S. after someone who unites us both. Our Lady of Guadalupe. The Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Done. Sold.
Absolutely.
And
I agree.
I think that it works out. Oh, you guys, oh wait, yeah, you guys can't see. I think it works out perfectly because if you do look, the Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe definitely is surrounded by Catholic countries.
Mhm.
Cuba, Catholic. Guatemala, Catholic. Mexico, Catholic. Not necessarily the southern United
Well,
States.
but they
'cause
were,
y'all like
though.
to be Baptist, but you're under snow right now.
No,
so
because
maybe.
Florida was founded
founded
by the Spanish
Right.
and Catholic. Same thing with Texas. Was part of Mexico.
Part of Mexico and was Catholic.
Yeah.
Louisiana, hella Catholic.
Yeah, it's French.
I mean, aside from all the
southern states used to be Spanish and Catholic,
right.
except for Louisiana, which was French and Catholic.
Right. What am I thinking of? Oh, the French had the Haitians, and the Haitians brought in the voodoo. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Louisiana is half voodoo and half Catholic.
Well, yeah, but it was mainly Catholic.
Right. Well, I mean, I was talking about now, but no.
But in the past, it was
In the
Catholic.
past, it was Catholic.
When it was part of France, it was definitely Catholic.
Yeah. Also,
France is the church's eldest daughter.
Gulag. Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah.
Gulag.
Perfect. I like it.
I like it. Okay. And just because we're on the subject of the Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe, I said this, I don't know, like a week or two ago, that the idea of renaming the Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe it's a layered operation.
Yeah.
It's a layers. There's layers to this. It creates a distinct mark in paperwork. If somebody had operations or a mission or a fucking, I don't know, an accident in the Gulf of Mexico, and then we change it to the Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe, you're going to know that that incident happened in the Gulf of Mexico was prior to 2025. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Then also, the other fun side of that is, I don't know, let's say that some fucking old geriatric dementia-riddled ice cream liker said something to the effect of, we're not drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. But then he gets out of office. And then let's say that the new guy who likes to self-tan a lot says, you know what? I think we should drill for oil in the Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And then everybody else is like, done, son.
Yep.
And
We're
then
not allowed to
there's
drill in the
nothing-
Gulf of Mexico, but we can drill in the Gulf of America.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then also it's just a flex because, like, why was it called the Gulf of Mexico? I don't know.
Right,
But
yeah.
we're America. Let's take it back. It's just it's a layered thing. I don't know that
Right.
it's actually going to happen, but
It
if
might.
it does happen, Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Well, we'll be the only country that calls it the Gulf of America. Most other countries, we're still the Gulf of Mexico, but who cares? Fuck them. They're not America. We don't care what they think anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
They're all getting overrun and destroyed by migrants anyway. They're not even going to be real countries in another couple of years, so it doesn't matter.
You know what we could do? We could not give them money if they don't acknowledge the Gulf of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
You know who's not a legitimate country anymore?
You know what you can't
England.
do? You can't dead name an ocean.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's how we get them. Once the Gulf is renamed and somebody pops off with a Gulf of Mexico, how dare you dead name the ocean?
Yeah.
Except for I think that thing could that whole mindset could die. I'd be fine with that. But until it does, flip it,
Yeah.
shove it back on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it looks like we've covered everything we wanted to cover tonight.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, it rolls right off.
As I said, until I can't wait to get deployed with the boys out of Mobile Bay and eat bubblegum shrimp on our way through the Gulf of America, Yucatan and Yucatan to take hotels.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
I'm with you for the bubblegum shrimps.
Yeah, the good old days in the military. Yes. It was over 20 years ago for me now. Jeez.
Oh.
That was when we were fighting sand people.
Now
Now we're taking on cartel. A different kind of sand people, I guess.
they
It's just a
not,
different kind of sand people. It's just it's still desert.
not to out Dickie's business or anything, but they flipped all the bunks the other day. They like went through and did a search,
Oh.
and some poor sap got busted with shrooms.
Ooh.
The same poor sack that was there on a waiver for the drug charges,
Yeah.
already given a just a second, third, fifth chance, and then just shit the bed on.
That happens a lot.
It does happen. It happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I was in with a guy who we were on 2 weeks leave,
Uh-huh.
had 2 weeks off,
Okay.
came back and pissed hot for cocaine. Shit's out of your system in less than 48 hours. You must have done it like right before you came back. Like the day, you must have done it the night before we had first formation for it still be in your system. 1. And then 2, the idiot admits that he was smoking crack instead of just snorting cocaine. Like, you know what I mean? Like an idiot.
Ugh. Even if
'Cause
you
I guarantee you
even
that-
if
yeah.
you test hot for crack, which doesn't happen.
No,
It
it's
doesn't
cocaine.
happen.
You
It's
test hot for cocaine, and then it's
Right, yeah.
it's your own fault for telling it was crack.
Right. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is even if you could test hot for crack, you'd still be like, no, I was just doing key bumps. It's
Yeah.
just a couple key bumps. It wasn't nothing. It's barely anything.
Yeah, yeah,
For what it's worth, it just gave me the shits
yeah. And this is a Ranger bat. That guy was out like
on his ass.
by the end of the day. He was already at the.
brig.
No, they you just get from a unit like that. You just get released for service.
Oh, okay.
So you get sent to a standard infantry unit at that point.
You're no longer special.
30th AG is where on Fort Lewis everybody would go when you were waiting for orders.
Uh-huh.
So literally he was out of our compound because we had our own compound on Fort Lewis. So he was literally out of our compound and over there waiting orders. Like, you're done. You're out of here.
Sucks.
Now, I don't know if the regular army ever pursued anything on that. Maybe this time we just charge them. I don't know. But how we handle it, you're just RFS'd out the door.
Go be somebody else's problem.
Yeah, pretty much. And they'll discipline you from there or just not need the army, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, but yeah, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, but cocaine, like, did you just do this last night? But of course, then when I found out when he was like, oh, it was crack, it was like, oh, well, yeah, you probably did do it last night because you're fucking crack fiending.
Yeah.
Like, we don't smoking crack on leave anyway, idiot.
Right. What? I mean, at all, period. Ever.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing you thought was a good idea?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Big Navy won't let you have tobacco.
Ooh.
That's fucking gay.
Yeah.
How much of Europa is remaining? What are we on? Episode 6? I think we have like 6 episodes left. I planned it so that way pretty much all of January, Monday and Friday, we're watching Europa. So however many Mondays and Fridays we have left in Europa, it's how many episodes we have.
All right.
Because it just worked out perfectly. There were that many.
So yeah. Well, I think that does it for our Wednesday show tonight. We are going to go back to being freezing cold.
Yes.
You guys enjoy. Thank you for coming out. We really appreciate it. Emily will be back on Friday.
Yep.
6:30.
Friday morning, 6:30 a.m. Wherever you're watching this, except for YouTube, that's where I'll be. Because YouTube doesn't like Europa. They don't like the truth. They don't like history. They're not fans of that, which is fine. They don't have to be. There's other streaming services who allow that.
Yeah. So
You ran out of spice and smoked the honest. That's hilarious. But like, I don't think spice was a thing back then.
No.
I would hope not.
Now, spice is not a thing back in
Yeah.
2000, 99, 2000. It was either 99 or 2000.
Yeah. I never heard of spice until like the summer of 2012.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much
somewhere around that.
I was.
Yeah. I think I was right around there when it became a thing, but I don't remember.
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was the summer of crocodile. I heard about the Russian crocodile and then some trash people in Woodbrook, Washington, just outside of JBLM. Were talking about the spice at the gas station, and I was like, I don't need to be in the ghetto.
Also, Dickie, in 1998, when I was going through basic training, you weren't allowed to have tobacco either. There was 0 tobacco allowed. Same thing when I went through Ranger School. You weren't allowed to bring any. It was like 2 classes before mine, and they changed that because you used to be allowed to bring 10 packs of cigarettes or 10 cans of like Copenhagen, whatever, dip. And that had to last you the whole time you were there. It's a 3-month course if you don't get recycled, but everybody gets recycled at least once. You're there for a couple months. And you were allowed to bring 10 packs of cigarettes or 10 cans of dip. But they changed that right before I went. So yeah, I had to suffer.
Why would they? Why? The
whole point of Ranger School is to make you fucking miserable.
Yeah.
As miserable as possible, and then see how your brain works while you're so miserable. That's the point. We're not going to let you eat. We're not going to let you sleep. And we're going to just move you to the point that you're about to die and collapse. And then we're going to tell you that you have to perform an op. And you got to plan the mission. And you know what I mean? It's to see how well your brain functions.
On nothing.
Under extreme stress and lack of sleep. And yeah. So yeah, it's done on purpose. Like I get it while they do it in Ranger School. I don't get why they do it in basic. But either way, doesn't matter. So anyway, yeah, that'll do it for tonight's show. I'll see you guys on Sunday for Catholic Chats.
Yes.
Everybody have a wonderful evening. We really appreciate you coming out.
I'm going to slide off screen to pull up the raid.
Yeah, she's going to raid and I'm going to hit the end credits. Love you guys. Have a good one. Damn it. There we go.